Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV. Hello. I'm actually got as a TV there, my goodness. It's playing the British Bullshit Corporation's news.
Get my daily dose of bullshit.
Yeah, now if you look, this is a lot more. This is a lot more comfortable, this room, because this is Richard's room. Now Richard, my twin flame there, my part of my the other half of my platonic dialogue, he's got himself a nice room. He paid a bit extra and got a nice room. I was tempted to do the same, but my roommates were a lot more better behaved last night. There was no drunk Turks talking in their sleep, you know, and it didn't go too badly. I slept very well last night. Going home today, obviously. Anyway, this is Souvenirs. Starts off with this critical mass radio. Now it's our turn. There we are. Criticalmassradio.co.uk. The world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. That's very true, Albert Einstein. Very true, Albert. Well, CMR is a radio station that's recently begun, and there's about 8 different hosts and 8 different programs on there, and one of them is called HPANWO Radio, and it's hosted by me. Yes, HPANWO is now gone truly multimedia. We started off with a blog on the internet, then we moved on to HPANWO TV, which you're watching now, and then we've gone to radio. So we've done it the opposite direction to most media. Most media starts off as radio, and then TV was invented, so they go on to TV, then the internet comes along and they go online. So we've done it the opposite direction, internet and TV then radio. Next step we'll have HPANWO on parchment or scribbled on a cave wall. So I've done 2 programs already. It only started a few weeks ago. I've done 2 programs. I interviewed the ufologist Scott Felton in part 1. In part 2 I interviewed Kevin Annett. If you go to CMR, the CMR website, criticalmassradio.co.uk, go into the podcast section and you'll see them. Or you can go to the HPANWO blog and choose to go to the HPANWO Radio, which is a separate blog I've started up, and it has direct links to all the podcasts. Kevin Annett was on last week. Next week I'm having Kevin Annett back again on Tuesday, because my programme is on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 PM. So tune in and listen live, or just listen to the podcast later. Or you can get it on iTunes as well, I think. I hope so. I'll check that out. But you should really order it. I think it's free actually on iTunes. In the next couple of weeks I'm hoping to have Margie Clark, who's an actress. She used to be in Coronation Street, but now she's become very, very aware, very, very awake, and she's into David Icke. She interviewed David Icke, and she was at the Exopolitics Conference, and she's very, very much into these subjects, so I'm hoping to get her on the show, which will be nice. I've got an envelope here with my name on. I was a guest, yeah, bless him. Anthony let me in on a guest ticket, because he knows I always do a good review, which is true. Well, I am honest. If I don't like something, I always say so. But the truth of the matter is, I do like the Exopolitics Conference. I'm being honest. Well, here's my ticket. British Exopolitics ET Communication Conference. And there it was yesterday, at the Static Gallery. And here is the schedule, which I went through yesterday, which you remember seeing. That was very, very good. Now, this is a computer game called Silent Hunter 2. I think I bought that so I could play it at Staines' place, I think. So that's right, on her computer. Although I'm not going to have time, I don't think. Now this is leaflets. To stop the war on television, 9/11 truth. Expose the facts about 9/11. Yeah, these flyers, I've just been giving these out at odd opportunities, leaving them on coaches and things like that. This is a book called The Demon. This is my reading book I bought with me. It's by Anthony Peake. And he signed it for me there, yeah, because I actually bought it off him at the Weird Conference in Swindon last year. I don't know if you remember. If you go down the list of my videos, you'll see I did a video reportage of that. That was a very, very good conference, that one. Right. This is a book called, I got from a charity shop, the British Heart Foundation. Read it and then bring it back. Okay. It's called The Valley of the Horses by Jean M. Orr. It's part 2 of the Earth's Children's series. I know because I read part 1, which is called Clan of the Cave Bear. It's set in the Stone Age. It's about Stone Age people. I read it years ago when I was a kid, and I haven't finished it, so I'm going to read part 1 again, and I'm going to read part 2. I got it cheap, so that'll be good. Another one for my reading list. That's my coach tickets in that envelope. Dot Connector magazine. Oh yeah, I've got it. This has started up again. It stopped for a long time. I mean, I think they had a few problems, and of course the guy who produced it was very sick, and he's still very ill. This is a very great shame, but now it's come back which is good because I've got a 2-year subscription to it, so I don't want to lose that, like I did for UFO Matrix. Although, like I said, UFO Matrix might be coming back. I hope so, because Richard, they want you to write for them, don't they?
Well, I wrote an article on Earthlights that I was going to send into them, and, but then they went out of business. So.
Well, they may be starting up again, so they may hopefully take you up on that. And
fingers crossed.
one of the guys involved, he's not involved. Unfortunately, he's not in it anymore. It's changed publishers again. But one of them asked me to write an article for them. So if I do, I will let you know. So if you can read UFO Matrix magazine and read my article. Right, Dot Connector magazine. The corruption of science. That sounds interesting. Structural theory of narcissism and psychopathy. Now this is I always love this magazine. It's really, really interesting stuff. And like I said, I've got a 2-year subscription. Nexus, oh good old Nexus, of course. Can't go anywhere without my Nexus. But as I was saying yesterday, this one's a bit depressing. I think Duncan, I mean, he's quite apologetic actually, but he concentrates on all the dismal stuff and the sort of like reactor fault at Fukushima, mass tree deaths. Oh, and it's like it becomes a kind of conspiratorial future shock I end up suffering from, and it makes me sort of despondent and depressed and feeling helpless and feeling like the world's dying. And I sometimes feel like I'm on a crashing train and I don't know how to stop it. I'm in a passenger seat. I can't even reach the communication cord. It's annoying. Right, I got some DVDs. I know I promised I wouldn't, but I knew I'd break my promise. Andrew Johnson, Strands of Disclosure. Like Bryce Zabel, Life After Contact. Stephen Bassett, Disclosure. These are all from last year's Exopolitics Conference, which, as you know, I covered on HPANWO TV. These are ones you can't get. These, some of them are online, but these ones are not. And they were 3 for a tenner, so I couldn't say no. So that'll be good. Now here's the flyer for the conference. This is the one we've just been to. Communications Conference. And this is the Exopolitics Conference, the main Exopolitics Conference, on the 4th of August. And yes, I am going to go. HPANWO TV will be there. And you see we've got Grant Cameron, Richard D. Hall, David Caton, very interesting speakers there. David Caton has done an awful lot on crop circles and animal mutilations. Andrew Johnson's back. Mike Freebury, I don't know. Colin Andrews, oh he's an interesting guy, just talks about crop circles and other things. Alan Foster. Natasha Akimovich, now I know her, she's a delegate that goes regularly, and I know her personally, but she's going to speak this time, that's good. Gary Hazeltine, David Griffin, good. And it's in the same place. And Planet X Radio, and I've got to listen to that Planet X Radio, that'll be good. So that's coming up soon. This is my spare notebook, which I didn't use. Now this is a book. This book belongs to Scott Felton. He's lent it to me. Linked to the Stars by Margaret Ellen Fry. Now I tell you why. I'll tell you why he lent me this. It's because of that video I did about the Bexley Heath UFO. Now this is the book where it all comes from, because as I said, Margaret Fry is one of the witnesses. Now where is it? Let's have a look. Try and find out where it is. Bexley Heath, here we go, yeah. And this is what it's all about. The Bexley Heath object. There we are. This is the book where it all comes from. So I'm going to enjoy reading that. That'll be interesting. I think that's it for Souvenirs. Thank you for watching HPANWO TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order.